Greetings, Fire Chargers. Death Lightning 4-4 here, and today you will be watching a Death Lightning 4-4 special. Consider this to be kind of like a movie, except without the millions and dollars going into it. We don't have artists at every single step, but we don't need to, because who knows the movie The Keys for Christ? I personally haven't seen it, but this will be a similar movie. A lot of people commonly make fun of Castform, either because of its appearance or the fact that its weather forms don't have that its weather forms normal and shiny appearances are identical, or those two globular things below its head, which I think are basically kind of like little appendages. Like, this is technically an appendage, so there's no reason Castform can't have ball-shaped arms. We've seen something similar in Bagon. So, allow me. Here's a picture of what Castform stats look like.
It's wet because of all the crap that it's had to deal with in the games, like...
Oh, I can't. This is MG TV. These 10 Pokemon you probably hate that I like. This is called the Cast for Castform.
Like, terrible stats?
Does it really have terrible stats? If you notice that all of them are 70. 70 times 6 is 420. But is 420 actually bad? List of Pokemon, by the way, just to put 420 into comparison, here's a list of Pokemon. Here are all the other Pokemon that have the exact same base stat total that Castform does. Azumarill. That's Meryl's evolved form. Brione, that's the evolved form of Poplio. There's Castform, obviously. Dartrix, that's Rowlet's evolved form. Dragonair, that's the evolved form of Dratini. And the pre-evolved form of Dragonite. There's Drizzle, that's the thing that's... Drizzile, that's the thing that Sobble evolves into. There's Hakamoto.
What's that? The B one.
Oh, that's the evolved form of Poplio. There's also Hakamoto, you know, that thing that evolves into Kamou. The Linoon, that's Zigzagoon's evolved form. Metang, the evolved form of Beldum, aka the pre-evolved form of Metagross. Mightyena, the evolved form of Poochyena. Poipole, the pre-evolved form of that, it's the poison dragon thing that looks kind of like, that's basically a purple version of the weird X-Wing Needle ambulance things from episode 38. Raboot, that's the evolved form of Scorbunny. Shelgon, that's the evolved form of Bagon. Thwacky, the evolved form of Grookey. Torracat, the evolved form of Litten, and therefore the pre-evolved form of Incineroar. Watchog, the evolved form of Patra. And Xylos, the evolved form of, what is it called? Dino, and the pre-evolved form of Hydreigon. Notice what appears here. Notice, Xylos is the pre-evolved form of a pseudo-legendary. By the way, here's a list of Pokemon that have a base stat total of 405, which is less than 420, and I'm pretty sure all of you would consider all of these Pokemon stronger than Castform, when Castform actually has a base stat total higher than every single one of these Pokemon. Bayleaf, Chikorita's evolved form. There's also Charmeleon. Yes, Charmeleon's base stat total is lower than that of a Castform. That's Charmander's evolved form. Combuskin, the evolved form of Torchic. Croconaut, that's the evolved form of Totodile. Put the headphones on to avoid copyrighted music in my video. I'll pause this. So yeah, Croconaut, that's Totodile's evolved form, has a lower base stat total than Castform. There's also Dugtrio, the evolved form of Diglett. Electric, that's the weird electric blue eel. Frogadier, Froggy's evolved form. Then there's Grottle, the evolved form of Turtwig. Grovyle, the evolved form of Trico. Yes, M&J TV, your favorite Pokemon, has a base stat total lower than Castform. Take it. Girder, if you don't know, that's the evolved form of Timber. There's Haunter, Ghastly's evolved form. Machoke, the evolved form of Machop. That's right, Machoke, that thing. It actually has a base stat total lower than Castform. Marshtomp, Mudkip's evolved form. There's a trend with the first 4-gen starters being on this list. That's Mudkip's evolved form. Minun, that's the electric blue mouse with the blue tips and the minus signs. Monferno, Chimchar's evolved form. Murkrow, that's the crow with the black hat feathers. Pachirisu, that's the electric squirrel. Parasect, the evolved form of Paris. Plusle, basically just Minun, but with red tips and a plus sign. Prinplup, the evolved form of Piplup. Quilava, Cyndaquil's evolved form. Quilladin, what is this? Oh yeah, Quilladin is the evolved form of Chespin. Shiinotic, that's a weird mushroom type gray alien thing. Togetic, Togepi's evolved form. Wartortle, Squirtle's evolved form. And Wobbuffet. You're going to call... So, for those of you who are going to say, yo, Castform thing is complete garbage. When that Charmeleon when the Charmander that you still have is weaker than this. In fact, I'm going to go to list of Pokemon base stats, put it on Mega Evolutions, Alolan Forms, that kind of stuff, don't count as separate Pokemon. So, instead of going through every single Pokemon that has a higher base than, and what's it called? Instead of going through every single Pokemon that has a higher base stat total in Castform because of how long because of time. So, let me see. IVs can be as high as 31 on an EVs. So let's assume that our Castform has a good amount of, let me see, 500. Let us multiply. Let's assume that our Castform has max stats, has max IVs for every stat. So that would just be 101. Let's use this formula for every single one. So according to, we're going to assume it has the same number of EVs distributed into each stat. So now all I need is the square root of 85. 85. So 9.22. I'll take that. Wait, statistic. So 202. That's 9.2. That. So it appears that under these circumstances, Castform can have 204 HP. 214 HP. Then it can have, remember, this is assuming every single stat is distributed evenly. So under the circumstances, which assumes each amount of assumes that each stat received the same amount of EVs. This is how, and max IVs for your Castform. This is how strong a Castform can get. Your Castform can have an HP of 214. One random stat, let's just say special attack, is 229. And another stat, let's just say a physical attack is 188, and all the others are 209. Ooh, and it appears that I need a modification. You see, it's not plus. The HP calculation is actually plus level plus 10, which actually makes it possible for a Castform to have an HP stat of 314. And this is what Bulbapedia says about the base stats of Castform. So remember, what I'm assuming I think is more reasonable than what Bulbapedia is assuming. The type of Pokemon that you see on this cannot exist. So at level 100, a Castform could have an HP of up to 344, or an attack of 262, or a defense of 262, or a special attack of 262, or a special defense of 262, or a speed of 262. Again, with it's doing each individual stat and giving it max EVs, max IVs, and a helpful nature. They're treating each stat as its own individual stat. However, I'm treating each stat collectively as a piece of Castform. So, Castform, it's actually possible for the Castform to be insanely powerful. I mean, it can have an HP of up to 344. Any of its other stats can be up to 262. And by the way, Castform has of 70. So 70 plus 0. So the lowest a Castform's HP could ever be, without using some sort of glitch or doing something, or doing some exploits or something, the lowest HP a Castform could ever be is base 70 plus IV. That's 0 if we want to make this Castform as weak as possible. Section 0.4 more. Let me pause this. So Castform can actually get quite strong, and once you hit level 100, the lowest any stat can possibly be for your Castform is 130. Unless you're somehow glitching. Seriously, it's impossible to have a level 100 Castform with any stats lower than 130. It's undoable. So that was the case for Castform. The weakest that a Castform could ever get is an HP of 6 and is an HP of 12, and every other stat is just 6. But you will never see a Castform like that. You will generally see Castforms that are much stronger, and you can actually get a Castform that is as strong as HP 314, attack 188, 8 defense 209, special attack 229, special defense 209, and speed 209. I think I should maybe not distribute the EVs evenly among each stat, and maybe the HP can have less EVs, because HP is gonna be one of the most insanely high stats. I mean, not only do you add 10, you also add the level of the Pokemon. So the HP is usually going to be one of the highest stats. Which, if you didn't know, is cleansing. So that was the case for Castform. Castform actually isn't that weak as anybody claims it is. And I think MNJTV is doing a playthrough on something where he's like, here's this, I'm going to go through this region using nothing but Castform. So that's the end of the case for Castform by Death Lightning 44.